My wife regularly watches a teleserye on TV that stars a middle-aged man who used to be a child star when I was a teenager. He is paired off with a young lady who I could say is one of the prettier faces on TV. Whenever I get home from work, I'd catch her watching the show, and so I have no choice but to also watch it. There's nothing else to watch. And while I do not show it, watching the finely matched couple act as lovers on TV sends tingles up my spine. Oh, medyo kinikilig din ako, pero slight lang. I'm human after all, and as a human with flesh and blood and a heart that beats 24/7, I have a desire for love just like everybody else. So I feel the same kilig that my wife probably feels when she watches that show on TV. The desire to love and to be loved is probably the most fundamental emotion that we feel. It is the deepest need of the soul. To experience love is to experience life. To be rejected and to be deprived of love by someone whose love we covet feels like a kind of death. Love is serious business. Love is our deepest need. We are made for love in relationships. No one can really live and thrive and be happy alone. We need others. We want others to care for us, just as much as we want to care for others. We have an innate desire to love and to be loved in return. Life is meaningful when we have people to love. To people who are married, you have your spouse to share your love with. Those with children have their kids to give so much love to. Those of us whose parents are still with us, our love for them just grows as the years go on. We have friends, our closest friends, to whom we will not be ashamed to admit that we love them from the bottom of our hearts, and we are loved back. Life can be beautiful when we love and we are loved. Life can feel meaningless when we have no one to love, and there is no one there to love us. Life can be painful when we have no family to go home to, when we have no friends to share life with. Life without love will be unbearable. So it's great to know that there is always someone who loves us no matter what. In spite of all the foolish things we do, in spite of all our mistakes, our failures, there is someone whose regard and feelings for us will never change. We are loved in spite of ourselves. And that is no one else but God Himself. The Apostle John declared in his letter in the New Testament the kind of love God has for us. He said, "So we have come to know and to believe the love that God has for us. God is love, and whoever abides in love abides in God, and God abides in him." The love that God has for us is agape, love or affection that is given in full measure, a love that's all out and unconditional, an incomparable and incomprehensible love, a boundless, overwhelming kind of love. God demonstrated His love to us when He sent His only begotten Son to us to live a life of love and to die on the cross in His love. He rose from the dead and went back to heaven so that He could seal the love that God has for us for all eternity. Do you sometimes feel unloved? Do you feel like you have no one to love or no one to give love to you? You don't have to look very far to find love. God is right there, desiring to give you His love. Embrace His agape love for you. Remember always, as you satisfy your deepest desire for love from the author of love Himself, faith matters too.